What's up, everyone? It's Willette with Urbex and Coasters, and today I am at Buffalo Bill's in Primm, Nevada. And, you know, obviously the rides here have not operated for a long time, but, you know, we are Urbex and Coasters, so, you know, I figured that the Urbex part of that would be worthwhile. So we're gonna take a look. You can see the trough of the log flume here. They've got some pretty cool theming elements along this trough, not gonna lie. And here is the other side of that. We want to see if we can find the stations for the rides. You can see, if looking at this, you can see where the thematic concrete ends and the metal flume begins. Well, we know which way we're going if we want to see what the stations for the rides look like. I can't get over how well themed this log flume is, even if it's not something I can ride. Like, that wheel up there kind of reminds me of the flywheel on the Knoebels, on Knoebels Phoenix, that is exposed for you to be able to see. And here we have Desperado. We could just walk right up if we wanted. There's nothing stopping us. And they've still got all these signs. We've got the station for the log flume here. You can see some log flume boats down there. You can see one that's been disassembled, it appears. Or is that brakes? I can't tell. No, I think that's brakes. I thought that was one that had been disassembled to the bare bones. But you can see the control panels. And there's nothing telling us we can't go down there. And, you know, this is unbelievable. Sort of reminds me of Joyland. So it was inspected in January, and they're not operating it, but hopefully they can get these things back up. And look at these. This is amazing. Here's a look at Desperado's station. You can see the train back there. Don't know how well it shows up on camera. Here's the elevator that guests would have taken to get up. You can see the train right there. It's on the track. We've got the transfer track there. And then you see it go out to the lift hill. And here's the turnstiles. And we're gonna go over to the operator panel to see what we can see. Hey, Ryan, the ride mechanic. I'm staying off the air gates. Here is the operator panel for Desperado. You can see the inspection date is the same day. Ooh, look at that. Got an aerodynamics thing there. This is awesome. And there is one more shot of the lift hill from inside. Hey, you want me to take a photo of you? Close-up shot of Desperado's train. Literally just touched it. Over here you can see some spare wheels. So like they definitely do still work on this thing. Hope to see it back open.
Why are there all these feathers?
This right here that the train is on is the method at the end of a block zone to stop the train. And that's the station. So we are outside of the hotel. We've got more boats for the log flume right here. These ones pretty much are sitting abandoned, so that's sad. We've got Desperado up here. So we are on top of one of Desperado's footers here. You can see some of the flume up there. And here's Desperado. That rockwork looks beautiful. You can see a bunch of supports in there too. We have the helix here. Is outside. This rockwork looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm sad I don't get to ride this thing because, you know, it's a hypercoaster, so that's a big deal. I'm gonna get to ride 3 roller coasters today. That'll be new credits, so it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, I am sad I'm not getting to ride this thing, but the exploration, especially inside, that we got with it, you know, that might honestly be better than getting to ride these rides here. I don't know. But I'd say that exploration was pretty cool.
Sure.
Okay, so I just accidentally did a time lapse, so I'm gonna do this for real. You've got all 3 rides that you can see here. You've got the log flume, you've got Desperado, you've got the train, and you've got this mountain structure. I think this thing here is really cool. I'd be climbing this if that fence wasn't there. And you know, considering some of the places I've gone, maybe I'll end up doing that anyway, but you know, I don't want to get in trouble, so. Get the coasters, get Desperado open, because this thing does look like a pretty solid ride. You've got Desperado's lift hill visible inside here. You know, I thought that truss design was invented by Alan Schilke with the 4th Dimension coasters, and it was what sort of inspired the RMC steel truss lift, but I guess it came before then, because look at this. And then you've got the chain would go through there. Well, it does go through there because, I mean, it's still on there. But, I mean, look at this. This is pretty cool, everything we get to see. Here's the tunnel. Drop into the tunnel. And then we've got this whole mess of track with that helix, and then up into this, and then up into this around the parking lot. You know, I like Magnum a lot, so I really think this would be a good coaster for me, considering that I do like Magnum, and I've gained my appreciation for Arrows. Here's another shot of the lift hill, where you can see it has that structure that very much resembles the X2 lift, which I think inspired the RMC steel truss lifts. Because this to X2, you had Arrow, and then X2 to the RMC steel truss lifts, you had Alan Schilke. So, you know, it's definitely something that you can see being a thing. Okay.